Good morning. Here we are with Wendy Shugar at Happy Hiker Fitness. And today we're going to talk to Wendy about her company and what she's up to these days. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Sean. Thanks for having me and talking to me. It's always fun.
It sure is. The next best thing to be in there, right?
That's right. So you could come on over. Let's go for a hike.
Have you seen my hill climbs? I've been hill climbing every day. Love it.
That's really great. Yesterday, I actually shoveled a whole 2 truckloads of mulch, so I'm exhausted. So I think that equals 1 hike.
Oh, totally. Probably 2. Something I don't enjoy.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's just a must do. So we'll get right down to it. Today we're going to talk to you about your business, and so we'll just start out by asking you, describe what you do.
So I run a business called Happy Hikers Fitness, and I really take people into nature. I learned a long time ago that nature heals and nature doesn't judge, and it's the only thing really on the planet that doesn't judge. So when I can take people into nature, like this hike you see in the background, you can drop all social craziness, you can turn off your phones, and you could just be you. And that's the start of healing and self-connecting, is to just do that. So that's why I do what I do.
Awesome. So what made you decide to get into this type of business?
So let's see, in 2012, a friend of mine invited me to go to a fat camp, just saying, and I thought that I'd go to support her. And little did I know that I was the one that ended up changing tremendously. And at that point, I was around 315 pounds, couldn't walk half a mile, didn't know what the heck I was doing in life. And it really took the point of somebody having to get down and tie my shoes, because I couldn't tie my shoes. And so when I realized that I needed to change, I also realized that nature helped me do that. And so that's why I wanted to then help change others.
I can definitely give a testimonial on that. I, for some unknown reason, decided that I wanted to try this hill out in Junction City with my daughter. And when I tried it, I realized, and I'd had several foot surgeries, so my feet were just toast. But I didn't realize that my feet would actually feel good when I was going uphill. And so it just started me off on this path of, wow, I really like this. And then I think we met just right when I was entering that first stage of, I want to start hiking. So that was, I love it. And I think Spencer Butte was our first hiker Pisgah, one of the two. So
I can't remember, but yeah.
How did you, how does your background align with this? And then how did you get the skills necessary to go out into nature and share this with people?
So I ran a business in LA for many years, and I was in the corporate world. And so I learned how to talk to people one-on-one regarding businesses and getting things done. And anybody who knows me, it's all about getting that ended, completed product. And so I took those skills and my business skills into the world and into this new life coaching thing and nature thing that I do, because I really want people to know that we learn in business school that you take the steps and you complete things. So I now teach people that you take one step and you move forward. And if you're available to keep doing that, then you can keep going. Not sure if I answered that question, but
you did. The great thing is that what I found for me, and this is just my personal thing, when I got out into nature, I mean, the first time I went up Spencer Butte, I could smell my childhood with my father. So that was huge for me. I lost my father. And so reconnecting with him through nature was like, wow. And then just learning that I can do it, and I have everything it takes to be healthy and able. It's amazing what you can overcome. And then just your mind, all those, just all the fuzzies are gone out of your mind and you just get that clarity. So,
Right.
so
I think that, can I throw something in there real quick?
Oh,
I think that you're
absolutely.
I think
It's
you're
all
totally
about you,
correct. And I
girlfriend.
think that I learned when I went out to do the John Muir Trail, which is a 211-mile hike, and I learned, it's funny because I trained for 8 months to do this, and I'd never gone backpacking. And did I learn how to carry a 50-pound backpack? Yes. Did I learn how to make a meal out on the trail with no food? Yeah, I learned all that. But the biggest thing I learned is what you're talking about, right? Is if we can condition our minds here that we can do it, and all we need to do is take one more step. Reality is we can, because we can, if we have to, we can physically lift up that toe or that foot or that leg and move forward, right? So if we condition our minds that we can finish that next step, then we can do anything we want. And in nature, we learn that nature doesn't judge, and so nature allows us to do whatever the hell we want to do. So I think
Absolutely.
that that's the takeaway, is to be able to do that and learn that, and it filters into the rest of our lives with our kids, our businesses, everything. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, it is. It's amazing. And, I mean, I thank you because you've been a huge part of the transformation that I've gone through personally, and several of the people that I know that are very close to me. So, it's huge. I would have never envisioned myself walking to Safeway and back and with a backpack and trying to pack almost 30 pounds worth of groceries, right? So I would have never done that. I've never done that in my life, but I did it because I knew I could, and you've got Wendy right back here just going,
One more step, Sean, we can see the end.
We're almost there. I can see the top. So, do you have any competitors? I mean, you probably don't even look at it that way. So that's kind of a weird question.
I never look at it that way. And I'm going to be realistic. There's a million competitors out there. There's gyms that you can go to. There's retreat centers that you can go to, one of which changed my life. So there are competitors. But I think the thing that keeps me aside is I'm really working for you, and I'm not working on a group setting, whereas I want to service everybody in my group, the 10 people, all the same. Like I want to hit each individual that way. And I bring in, the next thing is I bring in you. I'm not all about fitness. I think it's important, and I think it keeps our immune system, and I think it helps us with life for sure. But it really comes down to, where's your happiness, and how do you connect to you to find that, because it's inside of us, but how do we work it to get it out? So I think that that's what puts me aside from all of my competitors. And reality is I like to have more fun. So
well,
I'll go where you are, which is amazing.
Yeah, and I have to say, I mean, I could never make this my job, but if I could make it my job, that would be phenomenal. It would be so fun. It's hard to not have a good day out on the trail.
It's true, right? Even on my worst day, when I remember hiking up the Golden Staircase in the middle of the John Muir Trail in the High Sierras and thinking I was going to die because there was a lightning storm and thunderstorm, I have to tell you, there was still a time after that when I went, okay, this is what I learned, and this was the fun before and after, and how do I then put that into my life to be able to get things done? And I learned a lot from that moment of literally thinking I was going to die in nature, but it shows you that you can keep going, right? And that's what I love to do, and I love sharing that with people, because we don't always have to push the panic button. We can just keep going, and we can do it.
So how do you market your business?
Most of my, thank God, and thank you to my clients, most of my stuff is word of mouth. I do a lot of, as you know, I do a lot of social media, and I really try to promote it. But reality is, guys, is the social media is great, but it doesn't really get me my personal touch across, which kind of is crappy on some points. So, which is why I always rely on my clients to, give testimonials and tell their friends about it, because once you have a win and you share it with somebody, you're opening up their world to another win. Whether they come to me or they come to somebody else, it doesn't matter, but let's help open everybody's world to more happiness. And that's what it's about. So again, most of my stuff is by word of mouth and social media.
Yeah, and I have to say that you know, Sedona was life-changing for me. I never thought I could hike like I did in Sedona. You know, I had my little breakdown even, but the thing that I take away from that is, one, I truly feel like if there's anyone out there and they're struggling and they're like, I'm addicted, man, I have to have my McDonald's every day. I need to have some meat. I have to have my pork, you know. You literally can go cold turkey vegan and you will live. You will live.
It's straight. You will win and you'll live and you'll feel better, you know?
Oh yeah.
And again, listen, I promote whole food, plant-based eating 100% at my retreats. However, there are some people out there who can't do that. And I understand that too. And I'm willing, I work with everybody. So again, there's no cookie cutter approach, but my approach is always, how do I make you, Sean, or person X feel really good from the inside out? And what is their program? And let's get that. So again, it could be everybody eat whole food. It could be there's a little bit of meat in there somewhere. But it's also whether you yeah, we can laugh about that one. Whether you take 2 steps on the trail, or you hike 10 miles, or you literally go 5 steps onto the trail and you take your shoes off and you wait for everybody and you touch the earth. It's all about getting everybody to feel that way. And we learned that in Sedona. Most people could do every hike. A few people on a few days was like, oh my God, I need to chillax. And that's okay too. But everybody comes away with the feeling of, I'm freaking awesome. And I can do anything I want to do if I just put my mind to it. And I'm open to new ideas. Once you open yourself up to new ideas, there's a plethora of gains and goals that you can reach, which is fun. And that's what I really try to help people see.
Well, after being married to my desk and my business for literally 13 years, first going to Vegas in October, I didn't think I could top that. I mean, hiking Bryce Canyon and just being with 6 different women and just having the time of my life that never stopped for 7 days.
Right.
It was remarkable. I mean, it was just, I was over the moon. I zip lined from a 50-story building. I was like, I can't top this. There's just no way.
Right.
So when I went to Sedona and I climbed Cathedral, I was like, I will never top this, ever. And now I'm just waiting, you know, because I know there's something in my future that's going to move me even further, because that was not that difficult. It was not that difficult.
Right.
But fear froze me for a minute.
Right.
And then overcoming that, though, was incredible. So
it's funny that you bring that up, that fear thing, because can I swear on this show? You fucking rocked it, which was amazing.
It's your show.
Right? Sorry, guys. Okay, well, you did it. But you bring up a really valid point, and this is what I try to tell everybody else, right? Is fear is as what's the word?
Paralyzing.
As hindering as you, paralyzing is a good word too. As paralyzing as you allow it to be, right? So if you grab onto somebody to help you climb that mountain, or to go on that zip line, or even to go out for 5 minutes into the middle of nowhere that you don't know, or to meet a new client online, as long as you're open to being able to tackle it, right? You're going to make it lessen, and you're going to be able to step on to the next thing, whatever that is. So for you, ziplining, great. Doing Cathedral Rock was amazing, right? Who knows what the next thing will be, but you're learning that next thing can be tackled if you have that little bit of help or not, that you can do it. And again, it comes down to one step at a time, right? And dropping those judgments. Drop the judgments about me, right? You have to drop your own judgments about you to be able to move forward, right? And that's why I do what I do. So I'm so glad you climbed that hill, and I have a good adventure for you. So I'm thinking of new things.
Oh, I got to tell you though, you recommending the ultras and buying the ultras was such a great investment, because if there's anybody in this world that has the most painful feet, it's me. And my feet hurt all the time, every day, and they will forever. But what's really cool is after going through those surgeries and then finding these babies, I am not kidding you. Look at the bottoms of these. These are incredible.
Right.
And when I was hanging off Cathedral Rock, these babies kept me on that rock. I had no slippage, and it was amazingly incredible. I can't say enough about it. So back to you.
Favorite shoes and tools. It brings it up that tools are the best things, right? And shoes are a tool. You know, hiking poles are a tool. Whatever, you know, a journal is a tool. Let's like use all these tools in our world. So shoes are great, and that's my favorite product right there is those Ultras.
Yeah,
I need to get that new one with those colors. I like those colors.
I know. I was just looking at your hair going, Wendy.
Yeah.
It's a match.
So let's remember, if Ultra's watching this, I like those shoes. They match that blue-haired hiking lady.
Hey, and not only that, Keen is giving away, what, 100,000 pairs of shoes or 1,000 pairs of shoes? Come on, Ultra. Wendy's your spokesgirl here. She deserves it. Okay, so where do you see? Yeah, that's okay. It's your deal. We want people to know. And what's really cool is I would have never known any of this if I hadn't talked to you and hiked Pisgah that day. And you said, here. And I took pictures of your shoes and I went to REI and I bought them. So, you know what? It was a super awesome recommendation and I'm grateful for it. My feet are so grateful. So where do you see your business in a year from now?
I think that in a year from now, we really want to do at least 10 new retreats next year, and we're putting those into effect, which is exciting. We're definitely doing Sedona again in July of 2021. There'll be some new adventures, and we're gonna focus on staying around here because I want people to remember that we're focusing on you, and it isn't about the big picture, and it isn't about all the money, and it isn't about this, that, or other thing. It's about you. It's about the Seans and the Jessies and the Zacharys of the world, and really, we really need to come back to us and reconnecting to us, because then I talk about this all the time, is my work is really about helping you finding your dreams, your goals, and your legacy. And how do you leave your legacy? Because reality is that then helps me. And, you know, my legacy is if somebody remembers me that I made them smile or go outside and touch the dirt, then life's good. So I think that's where we're focusing, is bringing people back to basic and them and reconnecting to self.
Well, and I also think that when you start hiking and walking and really focusing, and it was great for me because I love it. I mean, I never thought I would love it, but I love hiking. I could do it every day of my life until I can't walk anymore. I will hike. I can for sure say that. But I had looked for my thing for a long time and I just didn't know what it was. It's like, well, I could play tennis, but I don't really like chasing tennis balls. I can ride bikes, but I don't feel 100% comfortable on a bike because I feel like I'm gonna get hit by a car. So there's just so many things that I kind of liked, but I didn't like it enough to be consistent and stick with it. And hiking is something that I love. And so loving it and then feeling the benefits. And I think that just the benefits you get, just accidentally get, because you feel healthier, you start eating better, because you start paying attention a little bit more, I think. So I think hiking has so many benefits outside of just the actual hike. And then taking photographs is just amazing. I mean, I just, there's so much to it. So, so who do you seek advice from in your business?
I work with a life coach. Life coaches are amazing and they're really good at helping you out, right? I also talk to an accountability coach. And I work with a lot of healers because I remember when I started to change that I had not done anything for me in 20 years. That's a true story, actually. I decided when my kids were born that nothing I did would be anything but to help my kids. And I'm still thankful for that. Like, that was the best decision I ever made in my life, right? However, I realize now that during that time, unbeknownst to me, and I didn't really realize it, that I was spending time on figuring out who the hell I was in 20 years. You know, I didn't go out, I didn't date, I just worked and took care of my kids. So I learned a lot. So now I'm trying to put all of that I learned into practice. So again, working myself with life coaches and healers has really helped me to come out of that shell and to really find out who I am. And I recommend it to everybody. Everybody always says, well, I don't believe in this or that. Is a crock of shit. You know, we're all made to go farther and better and higher and put into practice our dreams and our goals and our happiness. And reality is it's all in here. So whoever you use to help you out, if you got to find somebody that'll help you bring it out so that you can reach your full potential. So I do it a lot, and I have people all over the country that I work with, and it's amazing. And I find comfort in my friends and my clients too. I learn a lot from everybody. I'm willing to listen to what heals everybody and take that into account.
Excellent. So do you have any employees?
I have a few. I have Dog Sedona, who's my hiking trail guide. I have me. I actually have my son Zach, who works for me, and he does hiking when we do retreats around here. And when we do retreats, I have staff. So I have yoga staff, I have meditation staff, I have tarot card reading staff. Like I pull in people from all over depending on what's happening. So again, it depends on what event we're throwing and who's involved. If you were to go on a one-on-one hike, it's me. You get me, myself, and I, and if we need to pull somebody else in to help you, we can. If you're on a retreat, there's going to be more people there because we want to make sure everybody's serviced.
Awesome.
So,
why would your customer pick you over a competitor?
Well, you know, blue hair is the deal, you guys. Like, you can't argue. I'm just kidding. I don't have an answer for that because I really want people to connect with me. But I don't want them to feel like if they don't connect with me right away, they can't talk to me. Because reality is again, we can learn something from everybody. But I do promise my clients that one, we'll have fun because that's my thing, right? And two, we will have results. And three, my pitch to everybody is let me find out what you want. I don't want to do what your husband wants, what your kid wants, or what your neighbor wants. I want to do what you want. And if you're looking for that and you're looking for outside the box, then then come play with me. I mean, outside is nature, and come hang out with me, come put your feet in the dirt, come do whatever you want, but let's try it out and see how it goes.
So do you have any ethical concerns in your industry, in your business?
I do, actually. There's a lot of people that I talked about earlier, competitors that will bring people in and say, hey, come hike with us. And they literally hike for 5 hours and they give them a snack of 3 dates. That's insane, right? But it's all about go, 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 go. And I used to do this and I realized that it's just not good for here, right? There's other places that are running their groups and they're doing 5 hours of gym time without any intervention or anything in between to give them snacks or to make them realize why this is happening on a personal level. So it's an ethical thing and it's a problem for me. So I really want to push to people that there's tools that we can use, but again, it comes down to us and it comes down to we're all individuals and let's figure out what works for us and not that group mentality. And let's not starve ourselves. When we went to Sedona, we ate so much food, I can't get over it. Like, we ate really good, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was amazing, right? But people in my industry think that you shouldn't eat much and you should do this and that. And it's not right. Like, let's feel healthy while we're doing things. And the end result is going to be 1,000 times better.
Well, even though we had a full plate of food in Sedona, I mean, we ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we had our snacks, a couple snacks. Right. Everything was so healthy and so whole that I felt like it made me feel good. I was full. I could tell that any inflammation that was in my body was gone. So the results that I got from it were so beneficial and I could really feel it, that it made me want to change when I got back. And so, you
Right.
know, it's, and I didn't gain any weight. I didn't lose,
Right.
I think I might have lost a pound, but the bottom line is it wasn't about that for me. It was more about getting the full effect of Sedona, the hikes, and then also learning what does it mean to eat plant-based? What does it mean to be vegan?
Right.
You know, vegan food, vegan dressing, vegan noodles, you know, everything was completely, you know, plant-based. So it was awesome. It was really awesome.
It's yummy, but again, that brings me back to that ethical thing of there's no quick fix, right?
Yeah, no, there's not. You're
There are
so right.
tools to help you, but there's no quick fix. And in my industry of fitness and gym, working out in gyms, not necessarily life coaching, everybody wants that quick fix of, I'm going to go to the gym for 5 days and I'm going to lose 2 pounds. Well, what if you go to the gym for 5 days and you gain a pound, but it's all muscle, right? So that's my thing, is I want to make sure that everybody does what's healthy for them and gets them to the end point to where they want to be. And they're not going to be sick next week because they did something that they did today. Anyway,
oh yeah.
So it's a big thing.
I totally see that. And I have many friends who struggle with weight, and they yo-yo back and forth, which I did for many years. And when I started the transformation with the hiking, it was actually interesting because I had just gone through my second foot surgery and I was up about 17 pounds, and I was really depressed about it because I envisioned drinking muscle milk and doing weights the whole time I was sitting and, you know, couldn't do anything. I didn't do that. I ate popcorn and I barbecued and I drank some beverages. So, but what's cool is, you know, I started the hill and hiking almost, it's close to a year ago. Like in like 2 months, it'll be a year. Approximately 2 months, it will be a year. I've literally lost 20 pounds that I will not gain back because it's gone. It's gone off my body. And what's even funnier is I was like, you know, I've only lost 20 pounds. It took me almost a year to lose. But then I thought about it and it's like, that's so healthy. And then I felt my calves are so giant that I can hardly fit them in my jeans. I'm like, you know, there's got to be a little muscle, right? So.
Right. Well, I would beg to say the other things that you've learned in a year, right, are that you can do it, and that you put one foot in front of the other, and mentally you can do it, right? And if you don't feel like there's days I feel like I don't want to go on a hike, it does happen, right? You know that you're going to feel better if you go out and do whatever the successful action is. And so that's why I do what I do, is to help people with those long-term goals of realizing what works for you, and let's keep them in. And so you've learned a lot. I met you, you're right, almost a year ago in 2 months, and the changes are amazing. And that's the point, is if you learn up here, then the rest of it follows. And it's not a quick fix.
Oh, it's not. And you're so right. It's, you know, you can get all kinds of surgeries. You can go on all kinds of milkshake diets. But this up here will be the same no matter what. Because I've experienced those times where I lost 40 pounds in 6 weeks, but I have gained it back every single time within 3 to 4 months, you know? And I think it's about go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, you know, I'm sorry, this Zoom thing cuts in and out every once in a while.
No, you're good.
Say, it's interesting that you say that. Okay, it's interesting to say that, because when I went on one of my first very big hikes, I was going to take somebody with me who was a trainer at the time. And I kept saying, you need to prepare this, you need to prepare this, you need to prepare this. And I kept being told, no, you need to go hike, you need to work out, you need to raise this, you need to weight, you know, lift this. And I kept going, okay, but I think we need to prepare this. Well, reality is after 24 hours, I was the one that was keep going, and other people were not. And it's not to cut anybody down, because we all have our limits. That's not the issue. The issue I'm just trying to bring out is, if you can make a decision here, then we can work with you to go forward. And that's what it's all about. trust in yourself that you can do it. And I love working with people to make that happen.
Yes, and that is a wonderful feeling. So that's great.
Cool.
So what's one of the biggest issues that you run into with your business?
I think that people are afraid to invest in self-care. And it's crazy to me. Like, I get it, because when I was doing it, I didn't really invest in self-care, so I do understand it. But now I keep telling people, what the hell? Like, if we're not healthy and happy and find where we're content and want to keep going, we can't raise our kids really well, because we're not teaching them to empower themselves, right? If we're not empowering ourselves, how do we empower our businesses to go stronger? So I implore, like, beg people that are watching this and other things, take the time to invest in self-care, because reality is the payback is tenfold. You know, if you pay $2 for whatever, you're going to get, $20, $40, $200 back in the things that you can then go out and do. And it's a simple thing. It's okay to spend money on self-care. And it's okay to do things on self-care. It could be you go sit in the bathtub for 20 minutes and the kids are screaming and the husband wants to be food. That's okay, but that's self-care. That's then you're going to come out and go, okay, what does everybody want for dinner? And I'm happy to serve. So it's a big thing. Self-care is the #1 reason people don't do what they're supposed to do. So let's change that attitude. Society teaches us it's not okay, by the way. And I tell you it is.
Yeah. And you know what's funny about that? It brought to mind people in their 30s, if I would have come across this, if I would have found this love of hiking when I was 30 years old, I wouldn't have lived the last 30 years feeling the pain of not really being healthy. So I encourage anyone watching this, if you've thought about self-care, if you've thought about getting fit or eating better, or what is vegan like, call Wendy, because honestly, if Wendy would have came in my life when I was like 38, it would have saved me 20 years of constant fighting. And yeah, it really would have. So I encourage anyone, do it now, because if you wait, it never comes. You put it off forever, and pretty soon your kids are grown and gone. You're still sitting around, you're still living that same couch potato lifestyle. Dig deep, go get some money out of your bank account, whatever. It's money well spent, period. I just encourage anybody watching this to do that. So what does the future look like for your type of business?
I think future is about teaching people how to have fun. And really, people have asked me to, I don't know, listen, we have a property in Oregon. It's 5 acres. We're in the midst of putting new tiny homes on, and it's taking a little while because we're doing all the work by ourselves. But the goal is to be able to not only go out and do retreats in Sedona or whatever, but we do yoga retreats on site. And I also want people to know that we are open for business for intensive life coaching. Like, you can come stay on a property. I live in the middle of a forest, right? You can do forest bathing every day. You can eat really good food, and you can really intensively, over a period of whatever you want, 3 days, 4 days, or a week or longer, to figure out what's your next step. Like, how do I disconnect from everybody and figure out where the hell I'm going and what I want to do? And so that's our focus. I've told you this story a million times. Ever since I was 3, my parents would ask me what I wanted to do when I grew up, and I always said I wanted to be a hippie. I don't know if I knew that at 3, right? What that really meant. But now I get it. Like, I always wanted to move to Oregon and buy a retreat center and really make it available for people to be able to figure out what the hell their shit was like. And I stuck with that. Yeah, did I do all the corporate stuff? Yeah, I did all of it. But now I'm doing it, and I'm here, and I really want people to know that you can do whatever you want to do. You are allowed to empower yourself. You are allowed to ask for help. You are allowed to indulge in self-care, but it ultimately comes down to empowering yourself. And let's go outside the social norms. Socially, people tell us, grow up, go to school, make a lot of money, get married, have kids, retire, travel, and die. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do it in that order. But
No.
you can do anything you want, but where's the fun in your life? Where do you get to empower yourself? That's what I want to help you with. And I think that if we all get on that bandwagon, for fuck's sake, we're going to be in so much of a better place than we are now, right? And if we're, sorry, so sorry, but it's true. I'm sorry, it's true. If we can get everybody to realize there's a new outside the box to have fun and empower ourselves and help others to empower themselves, we'd be in a better place as a universe and as a human race.
You are so correct. And let me just say, I never wanted to come home from Sedona. Ever. Like, I wanted to just stay there for the rest of my life. Like, do that every day.
Well, and you can do that every day. That's the point. Wherever you are, you can do that with those gains and those wins on a daily basis. Sedona is great, and you and I are going back for sure in 2021. But reality is I want to show people that when you find that, you can bring that into your daily life with whatever you're doing. And it comes down to empowerment of self.
You know, I find it really interesting. I've hiked everywhere around here now, but I've never hiked Hendrix. I totally forgot about Hendrix.
Let's go this weekend.
It's on the list.
We'll stay 6 feet away from each other so that we can hike.
I think I want to stay about 10 feet away from you.
Oh, gee, thanks a lot.
I'm just kidding.
God.
Are you social distancing?
I love you too, Sean.
Are you social distancing, Wendy?
I actually am. We are social distancing out here on Sugar Mountain in the middle of Oregon. There is no coronavirus on the mountain and in the trees. And we are open for business. So yeah, we are social distancing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so what did you learn from this interview?
I love you more and more every day, Sean. You know, I have to thank you for doing this interview, because every time I do interviews, people pick up different subjects and I learn something. But the thing that I love from this interview is that it rekindles things within me to remind myself that I am that 3-year-old little girl that wants to be a hippie. It doesn't mean I want to go out and do drugs. It just means I want to live and have a good time and empower and have fun and do spontaneous dance parties, which I do, by the way, and just enjoy life. And I love remembering that. So thank you for reminding me.
Well, good. Well, this will be posted on the Facebook group so everyone can see it and share it. And you are welcome to, you'll definitely have your own copy. So put it wherever you like. I think this is great for small businesses, and I think it's a good way to get the word out there. I especially like this one, of course, because it hits very close to home for me. I believe in it. I live it. I breathe it. So, you know, I'm a huge fan. So how do people get a hold of you?
So we're at happyhikersfitness.com. Again, that's happyhikersfitness.com. I also have a Happy Hikers Fitness Facebook page. We have a YouTube channel, Happy Hikers Fitness. It's all about Happy Hikers Fitness, you guys. Let's remember those 3 key words. And right now, we just started a new Facebook page that people should go check out. It's called Nature Heals. And then, of course, there's Happy Hikers Fitness after it. But the reason we're really starting that right now is because we're in the middle of unprecedented times. And things are a little crazy out there. And I started this page all about just to remind people that it's okay, nature's out there and it will help us get through it. And you too can feel good by breathing fresh air, going outside, and healing, right? Nature's gonna help heal us besides everything else. So again, go check us out. And there's a few other things on there, but they're fun to check out. There's blogs on Happy Hikers Fitness. So come check us out.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Wendy. It's been a pleasure. And we'll see you very soon, I'm sure.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Take care. Be safe.
Bye.
Okay.